find out.
All right, all the meetings are order. First, we have the minutes from the September 8th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of September 8th.
Second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
And I will make a motion to approve the public meeting minutes of the 8th.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Your microphone isn't registered, right? It's on.
Oh, Tammy's is on.
It's on now.
But you're number 4, right?
Me? Mine's not?
It's not showing it. No, shut it off and turn it on again.
How about now? Now?
No, let's switch it up with this one.
Oh, the light on.
My light's on. All right, how's that?
Yeah, you're on now.
It is,
Yeah.
okay. All right, my microphone wasn't working, called the meeting to order. We approved minutes and non-public minutes from our last meeting. All right, next on the agenda is announcing the outdoor watering ban and the outdoor burn ban. So, the state has declared a section which we're part of to be in a severe drought, which, number one, gives us, the authority to declare a water ban, outdoor watering ban in town. So we've done that. And then the state, I believe, is one who issued the original fire ban, and then we could.
The state had issued a high fire warning, which allowed us to piggyback on top of it. So we did that, I would say a few weeks ago, and then we lifted it
Right.
for a brief period of time.
We're back in.
And we're back in it, we're reinstated, and then the state, as of today, has issued it statewide.
Okay.
So we are in accordance with the state.
All right. So just to announce those two things.
Couple questions about that.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman. Number one, I know we sent out an email, and I believe we sent out a robocall vote. I'd like to know who gets those, because I received them. I asked one of my neighbors, did they receive it? They said no. So that's number one. Number two, when I talked with the chief the other day, he indicated that he was told by the National Forest Department and by the state, the National Forest campgrounds that they control, you could burn there, even though we had a burning ban. And the state said, and campgrounds that they certified, they could have burned there. And, you know, I guess that bothers me, so I did put a call into congressional, because who's gonna respond to fires like that? It's gonna be our force that's gonna be the first on the scene. And, you know, by not following our lead as far as the burn ban goes, I mean, it's something that maybe something can be done, I don't know, but, you know, let's bring it to their attention. God forbid there should ever be a forest fire, you know, we're the first on the scene, we live here, and we're impacted more than anybody, so. And the third thing in regards to that, is there any way that when we do this, for at least a short period of time, we could put up on the sign that's on 112, the digital sign, that there is a water and burn ban? Obviously, we had a lot of guests in town this weekend, and I could smell campfires. You know, that was part of the weekend going with the Highland Games. We got a lot of renters coming in, and you know, there were campfires going, and so consequently, you know, I mean, and these people wouldn't have known because they don't get the robocall. So, you know, I did talk with one folks. I said, hey, you're not supposed to do that, and you know, whether they listen, I didn't pull my gun out or anything like that. I was very kind. I did tell them my name was Sean McGowan, you know, law enforcement. but, you know, I mean, it's something that's safety matters to all of us, so. Just throwing out a couple ideas in the future, if it falls over the Highland Games, or, you know, just let people know, even Tammy send it into, through the school kids. I'll bring this notice home to mom and dad, you know, I mean, that there is a water ban and what have you. And there is a fire ban, so, you know, everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Right, a lot of towns have, like the metal stick in the ground signs that just say water ban and burn ban, that's all they say. We could do something like that and expand on townwide or whatever.
Did Sean pick up those things?
Yes, he took all of them, yeah. But that was very effective. I thought the people that don't follow the meetings, that don't have social media, you know, don't, whatever. That was an easy way, even if we just put them up down Main Street, they're not to be everywhere.
We did put it on the library sign. Yeah, we did put it on the website, we did put it on social media, we did send an email to all the HOAs. Letting them know of it as well,
That was good,
so we did try to get the word out, but you know, in the future, yeah, I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
like you said.
And those signs are cheap and easy,
Yeah.
they're so cheap and easy, and, you know, yeah, stick them in a closet somewhere, and hopefully we'll never get them again.
And as far as the robocall signs go, you have to go to the PD's website, and sign up to receive them.
Oh, you do, okay.
Yes. It's their rave system, but we're actually looking at a new system for them, in the upcoming year. That would allow, so right now that system is only for like emergency declaration type thing. The new system that we're moving to, which will be through our website, would allow us to also send out blasts as well, in addition to just the emergency services side of things. So if town hall had to close for some unforeseen reason, or the town clerk wasn't in that day, or for different, whatever it is, we could send out blasts as well. So we hope to start implementing that soon. They're working on getting that program together. So
Will people have to sign up for that?
they still will have to sign up for it. They'll still have to go on the website, but once we get all the, you know, I guess, marketing material ready, we'll blast it out similar to what we do, you know, social media, website, all that kind of stuff to sign up for those. So. Yeah, but you are right about the campgrounds, and it's still to this today, even in the governor's you know, proclamation today, it's still says that they can burn campgrounds.
It does say that, I think there's specific requirements related to that, as far as having a fire ring and short stuff.
Yeah.
But still, it's in the woods.
Right.
Right.
Well, and that's why our fire chief originally lifted the ban in town, because he felt that if the campgrounds in town could burn, then it was hard for him to enforce it in town. But I think just because of the severity of the drought and, you know, the no rain in sight made him change his mind versus decision.
All right, so those two things, all right, you wanna just move into the comment?
Sure, just one more thing before we move on to the water restriction, we did get a comment in regards to why didn't we, when we put the water ban on, why didn't we include swimming pools and hot tubs? And just so everybody knows, we didn't include them because our water regulation, our water use restriction ordinance doesn't call for us, doesn't allow for us to do so. Our level 4 water restriction is exactly as we posted it, you know, is the landscape watering, automatic sprinklers, washing of streets, driveways, sidewalks, other impervious areas, washing of cars or boats at a non-commercial facility shall be prohibited. So we aren't technically allowed to restrict swimming pools and hot tubs unless we amend our water use restriction ordinance.
Somebody brought that up today, I called for that. And, you know, I said, you know, we should discuss that, maybe amend the resolution to include that, because not picking on Airbnbs, but people that have hot tubs, you know, every time there's a turnover. Michael Connor does a lot of business that way, you know, turning, you know, changing the water in addition to adding chemicals and stuff like that, so. You know, just a thought.
I mean, that's a good point, there's hot tubs that can take more water than you can put on your flowers for weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of pools that are on automatic refills,
Right.
and if it was July, I think that would be a much more severe problem, having it be September, maybe not as much, but there are some, Tammy pointed out, some heated year-round pools in town.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're on a water automated, refill system as well. Again, it's something that maybe we wanna discuss in the future.
If we change the ordinance that allows us to do that. Can we take each individual water ban? Proclamation of water ban, institution. And say it's including in all of these things, or it's including just the outdoor watering, but not the hot, depending on what time of year it is.
I
How
would think
severe?
so, the way our current water use restriction ordinance is written, and I think it kind of somewhat mimics the state's DES's guidance. It like level 1 restricts this, level 2 restricts this, level 3, and so on and so forth to level 4. Level 4 is the highest, which we have implemented. I do think there's probably some language or terminology that we could put in that says that some of these things could be by choice or if necessary,
That we have the
ability,
authority to institute whichever of these.
right.
We feel is necessary.
Yeah, I would have to, I don't see why not, I'd have to look back in DES's guidance, kind of to see how they put it into the line, put it in their guidance, or it's the RSA is what allows us to do it, so I have to just make sure that the RSA allows us to do
Talk
it.
to Jason.
Yeah, talk to Jason, or at least NHMA, or
Right.
DES, and say,
Yeah.
how can we do this where we have the option to do it on pools if necessary, pools and hot tubs if necessary.
Yeah.
You wanna look into that?
Look into that.
Yeah.
All right, town manager's report, so obviously outdoor watering ban, we talked about mandatory fire ban. Some good news for once, I don't want to say for once, but we have some really great news. So we were notified last week, that upon his passing, Mr. Leon De Palma. Generously, designated a portion of his estate to the Lincoln Recreation Department. While there are a few formalities, that we must complete with the bank, we can expect to receive a significant donation in the near future. In speaking with the executor of the estate, he has indicated that the gift will exceed $250,000. Wonderful. I plan to consult with our auditors, to determine the best way to earmark these funds for the recreation department. And whether establishing like an expendable trust fund with that money, would be the most appropriate option, or if it's just going to be like assigned fund balance in our undesignated fund balance, there's different categories of fund balance, I don't know. That's not my opinion, what can we do, but I wanna make sure that we do it appropriately and.
And you said Lincoln Recreation Department, I'm assuming it's the Lincoln Woodstock Recreation Department, and this department didn't specify.
He said the Lincoln Recreation Department.
Well, that's gonna take some clarification as well. Because the recreation department, if the Lincoln Woodstock is split evenly funded. The recreation department, the only thing that's not even in the Kent facility because Lincoln owns it. So. That's gonna take some clarification.
I think as long as, yes, I agree, agreed, but I think as long as if it's used towards a project that benefits the Lincoln Recreation Department and if Woodstock benefits as well, I think it probably be fine, but.
See, technically, there is no Lincoln recreation department.
Well, in our budget, there is a recreation budget department budget that the Lincoln funds.
Yeah.
Funds half of.
No, we fund all of the in our budget, we fund all of the
It is
Lincoln.
reimbursed.
Some of it's reimbursed.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's,
Okay.
it's
I think that might be our word link.
Perfect, perfect, then it could be.
Yeah.
shared.
And, and Bree and I, Bree spoke to him as well as, I spoke to the executor, which is his nephew, Michael. We talked about some potential projects, how we could use this in the future and, something that we both thought of kind of that is on, in the future, but we haven't really kind of pulled the trigger on is, a new playground.
Yeah.
Where that could be dedicated to him with, the plaque, the new playground, equipment, Bree has been looking into that and looking into putting it into the CIP. That could be a good use of the fund, but we have to actually have a place of dedication for it. So, but again, to be determined, like, right now, let's go through the motions. Like I said, we have to do some formalities with the bank. We'll have to have a public hearing to accept the funds, go through those motions, but I just thought it was a really wonderful.
Yeah. Very down.
Been a local
For a long,
long time. I don't know Will from voting.
Yeah.
his nephew said he just loved the community. Half of his estate went to the recreation department, the other half went to Jean's Playhouse. So, so he just said he just loved the community, he loved the outdoors, he loved this town, he loved going to see, plays at the theater. He didn't have any children where he wanted to go to.
So we are grateful.
Very great. So more to come on that, but good news. We'll take good news.
Very
We
good
can-
news. Yeah, no, I love it, I love it.
Route 3 water main improvements. So Nate and Sam met with DeFelice this past week. The contractor plans to mobilize during the first week of October. They are aware of the November deadline and have indicated that if necessary, they will assign an additional crew to ensure the project remains on schedule.
Fantastic.
So we'll get that ball rolling again.
So they're gonna do that quickly.
They're gonna do it quickly. They're gonna do it in 45 days.
Fantastic.
Like it says, they may have to have another.
Yeah, that's what they said. Now they're gonna start with one crew and probably bring on the second.
Yeah, they'll need it. Let's do it.
But they're aware that they're on the clock.
Great.
Police Department open house. So in your packets, you have the flyer. The open house is planned for Wednesday, October 15th from 5 to 7 p.m. All are welcome. We put up a couple hard copy flyers at the post office today out front. We're gonna get it on social media and the website and all that good stuff tomorrow when Jane returns. So PD's gonna blast it out too on their normal channels as well. So
Good.
All are welcome.
Is there an open house tomorrow night at the same time?
There is a chamber after hours or business after hours at the community center tomorrow from 5:30 to 7:30. Yeah, there is.
Karina, what's the date of the open house?
The 15th of October.
5 to 7 p.m.
It's a Wednesday, all hands will be on deck and the PD is gonna get it nice and spiffy for us.
It better be spiffy. No matter what. We're in good. All right, glad we got that date set. That's.
Yeah, we'll get it blasted, like I said, we'll get the news out, I'm also gonna send it to Kim Pickering, so maybe she can send it out to the, the chamber website and all that stuff.
Fantastic.
All right. Wood trial. So, Attorney Catherine Bradley motioned the court a few weeks back to allow us to pick first during jury selection in February, in addition to allowing us to pick 4 alternates. The judge has agreed to allow us to pick a jury first in February, however, not to the 4 alternates. So,
Jason, they'll only have 2 alternates.
well, Jason said that, at jury selection, that he is going to petition for 3, and that he hopes that we can, get a solid, jury and have 3 alternates.
That's what happened last time, 2 of them. But
Hopefully, picking first means we'll have the biggest pool of jurors. I think the last few times we've gone to jury selection, we picked either second or third.
All right, I do not have so much, us to pick first.
Yeah.
We pick at the same.
Because no, like saying this trial will pick first, because usually
It's criminal.
criminal goes first, and so like it's.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the last two jury selections, if not the last, have we done it 3
I've
times?
done it 3 times.
I think we've gone either second or third each time, so the pool was much smaller.
Well, I think that the first time we didn't even get to pick because there wasn't enough to pick from.
Oh, maybe that's what-
So the second, third one, we got to pick last and, you know, it's there.
So we will pick first in February. So hopefully we will have a good shot of getting a full jury.
Fantastic.
And that date is,
I believe it's February 2nd is jury selection. Tell you right now. Yes, February 2nd is jury selection. Trial to start on the 3rd.
next day.
Yeah, the very next day. And it goes right through the 10th line,
The 9th, correct.
so it's down to 5 days.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess so.
Yeah, good. I'll take it.
Okay. All right, 4th of July fireworks. So this is a topic for discussion at the joint meeting with Woodstock next month. I do believe that Jane has finally got a hold of Judy, and I think they have decided that October 22nd, October 20th. Will most likely be the joint meeting. Here.
Is that a normal
Here,
meeting for
what's-
us?
That's a normal meeting for us here in Woodstock, here with Woodstock. Let me confirm that with Jane now, but I'm pretty sure she told me on Friday that Judy said the 20th would work, so I'll confirm, but a topic for discussion is, potential relocation of the fireworks display. Our new vendor, JPI Fireworks, has indicated a preference, to shoot from a different site this year, or next year.
Does he have a site in mind?
He does have a site in mind, would you like me to just read his email?
Sure.
It says. First of all, they were talking about the budget, and he said that anything for the 4th of July is going to be much higher in 2026.
Sure. And you
We're
kind of
talking
expected
30,000,
that.
30,000.
Yeah, he said, I use a budget number of 30,000.
We expected
If
that.
you want it on the floor.
On the 4th, he said the tariffs, are definitely haven't helped as far as price wise goes. And going to the actual 4th of July versus the 5th
Sure.
or the 3rd, he said that.
Well, he had told us to expect that anyway.
Yeah. So, he said the other issue is your firing location. He said their staff couldn't easily escape the smell fumes coming from the lagoons. Some having to leave during setup. He said getting our people into that sort of environment a second will be an uphill battle. And after speaking with my colleagues at other companies, that they have fired shows, there's the same reaction. So he is essentially looking for an alternate location.
Well, did he have a suggestion?
His suggestion was, I don't know if it's the escape route parking lot, or is that what it is, the one that's right there?
They did that years ago. We got it off from there.
Oh, we did, okay, I first and foremost, I said, let's reach out to Primex Steve and see if Primex will cover a fireworks show on a location that's not town. Primex has said that is fine, as long as they would like to review the agreement with the property owner, 'cause I'm sure there's gonna be some sort of insurance agreement or some sort of contract with the property owner to allow us to do so. Whether,
So did you reach out to the property owner?
I was waiting to have our discussion with Woodstock before doing so, because I just didn't know how Woodstock would feel about that location. I didn't realize that we had done it from there before.
We have one of my suggestion would be to reach out to the property owner and just get a soft answer on whether it's even a possibility. And then we know.
Right, or should that meeting be discussing
Other locations.
other locations?
Okay.
Let's
Um,
get a soft answer from
And property.
I can do that, yeah, definitely.
Either way, if they say yes, it's gonna be a temporary yes, so it's not a long term
Right.
solution.
Solution because they're gonna go there, yeah.
I actually watched the fireworks the past 2 years from that side.
Oh, yeah.
We were the only, last year we were the only car, the year before there were two cars, another car, it was beautiful, you know. Could see everything that was going on. It was good.
They used to let him out there years ago.
Did they tell me?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, they said it would allow for them to do, some of the complaints we received this year is that some of the, fireworks were lower than usual, that where they didn't hit the, so it said at this additional location would allow them to do a wider show. That's what that means, but
Right.
I'm not well versed in fireworks, but, they wanna come back.
Okay.
But it's just gonna cost us.
Sure.
And they would like us to consider a different option.
The 350,000, and
Not a long-term solution, Steve, though, we're gonna have to.
I don't know,
think about
we
that.
can't go back to Deer Park.
No, I remember when they used to do a deer park
Deer
too,
park.
yeah,
Well, before Deer Park,
oh,
yeah. Well,
It was-
it was a drive-in,
it was the old drive-in, it
oh,
was just big dirt field.
right?
Yeah, I don't know what the next, where we go next, but at least we can. He mentioned that spot before they even came. Fourth of July, they're like, oh, that spot would be really nice. I'm like, "Oh, it's-
Yeah, it is, it was great.
We'd set them off, and so I guess my only concern is that if they would be visible, because I know like you can see them in some spots of Woodstock. When they do them with the transfer,
Yeah.
the lagoons.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that would still be a possibility.
I think it might be tough because there are trees going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
and we used to be able to be on Main Street and see them, but with the Redwood, or
Riverwalk.
Riverwalk, I don't know if that's possible either, sorry.
Okay, I'll reach out to the property owner and see if it's even an option, and then we can discuss it with Woodstock when they come in next.
have we committed for the 4th yet? Or are we waiting for Woodstock?
We've committed to the board, we just gotta fund it now.
We gotta fund it if Woodstock funds it as well.
Committed.
We're on their calendar,
Okay, that's,
Well, not if it's at the lagoon, they won't come back.
no, I, I understand, yeah.
But that decision should be made with Woodstock. Before we
Absolutely.
finalize it, what the date is, because
Absolutely.
that's twice as much money for each time.
Correct. Okay, that's all I have on my formal report, but I did get, over the weekend, I did get, if they're in your packets, I got, the wastewater analysis updated from, KP
Yep.
Partners from Ray
I
Forward.
didn't
So-
get a chance to read it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe we put it on the agenda for, at the next meeting, so we have time to
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
digest it, go through it all. I did read it. I think as we expected, the numbers increased. Rather than us being in the seventies now with the Campus World property, the hypothetical Campus World property and the increase in South Peak. We're in the low 80% range, 83, I think you said overall. But I figured, let's give it time for you guys to read through it. If you have any questions, we can get it on the agenda for the next meeting. In addition, we also got a updated, water analysis for Route 3, when we asked Weston Sampson to give us kind of, a synopsis of kind of what we have over there on Route 3 and what kind of improvements may need to be made to develop that property. In addition to, if we were to develop that property, kind of what our elevation, kind of threshold would be as far as building.
Yeah.
So, both of these reports just came in, so I think we put them both on. the next agenda
Yeah.
and have a more thorough conversation about it. If that is okay with you,
That works great with me.
Yeah,
so
I'll send them to you an email too, so you have them electronically. That's all I have this evening.
All right, I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to bring up, and talk about, but, well, you wanna do that one next? Let's do that next. If we can unpack it, that, we have a, email from, Cindy Lloyd, representing the, board over the Riverfront condos of the, discussion we had regarding parking stickers at Ladies Bath Hut. Probably should just read the whole thing in the minutes. Go for it. All right. For the Board of Selectmen, in the August 25, 2025 Select Board meeting minutes, there was a discussion of providing transfer station stickers to use at the Ladies Bath to several extended family members of a property owner. Riverfront should be able to input to this decision, which we believe is not in our best interest nor that of the town. A little history. The Ladies Bathtub was deeded to the Pemmican River Preservation Society on December 27, 1985, for the purpose of maintaining the area for continued use by the residents of Lincoln and Woodstock. The society dissolved in the 1990s. The town took the parcel by tax deed in 2014. In the years that followed, with increased exposure on the internet and in tourist guides, the popularity of the bath grew and subsequently exploded during and after COVID. Riverfront has had to hire staff on the weekends to manage the traffic and overflow parking on our property. In 2021, we initiated discussions with the town to resolve these issues. On May 22nd, 2022, solutions with respect to signage, parking, police and security, and access to the parking area were discussed with the Board of Selectmen. This included permitted parking. One member of the public thought that parking should be limited to the original intent, Lincoln and Woodstock residents. However, in the end, there was a motion which was accepted to restrict parking at the Ladies Bath to people who have a solid waste facility or town facility path sticker. This would include residents and taxpayers. Lincoln and Woodstock have a similar program for sticker distribution. This was acceptable to the Riverfront, and although a learning curve for all of us in the first year, with the continued support of twice daily police oversight patrol, has been and is working very well. The possible consideration on August 25th, 2025, to honor a request to provide bath permits to extended family members who are not taxpayers or may not even share the same name is not consistent with the policy and ordinance changes established in 2022. Opens permitting up to possible misuse. How do we know if these people are actually family members? How will we handle requests from property owners who rent and are looking for permits for their tenants? Same difference. Once the cat is out of the bag, you'll have a hard time getting it back in. Seems to be a first one-off. Why would we change a system that has worked well for 3 years? Additionally, the use of placards which can be reproduced would complicate police oversight. If you need to use the transfer station sticker in different cars, simply don't permanently affix it. Maybe you don't need to connect them to specific registration, just a specific resident or taxpayer. My understanding is that this is what was done in Woodstock. The police patrol twice a day. Cars generally turn over at that time, which allows more cars to park and for people to enjoy the bath. Because the taxpayer population is growing, if we extend the availability of Ladies Bath parking permits to other populations, there may be limited turnover, and those with legitimate permits will be denied access to parking at the bath. This could take Riverfront back to the pre-permit days when people were there, when people were quick to try to park in our lots and try to park in our lots by law. We hope you'll consider our input, not change a system which is not broken, not create additional systems or simply deny this request. That's signed by Cindy Lloyd, Riverfront Board. What do we
I
want?
personally think that there's a little confusion that I thought at the last meeting we had, when we discussed Riverfront, is that we did decide that we were going to not do a placard, but attach the sticker to a property versus a vehicle, rather than a as she said in her second to last bullet point, on the second page. If you need to use a transportation sticker in different cars, simply don't permanently affix it. Maybe we don't need to connect them to a specific registration, just a specific resident or taxpayer. I thought that's what we agreed upon doing, is allowing them to, we issue one sticker to the property and then they
Registration is what we have been doing.
have been doing that, and that we were going to move forward just associating it with the property. Right. So I don't know if maybe that was lost in the minutes or lost in her understanding, but that's what I took away from that meeting, unless I am lost in translation.
Just because previously the sticker that we chose to use is the transfer station sticker.
And that's what we're continuing to use.
And that's what Woodstock does and has done
Correct,
for a long time.
yes.
So now it's a question of, are we gonna try to, first of all, we're gonna try to limit that to just residents versus any property owner can get a sticker.
Yeah.
Why if you were gonna try to limit it to residents, just one
One per property.
super
Property.
Yeah, but I've got 2 vehicles registered in my home. Both of them sit in the town. My wife has consequently. Both have a sticker on our vehicle because I'm here, she's there. So I don't think we can limit to only one per household. But, registered vehicles in the town.
You make her go to the dump.
It's a lot of fun, dude. She went yesterday after church with my grandson. Yes. Yep.
I do see your point in that scenario, but I think we were thinking more so that if we issued one sticker, and I guess it was less for the full-time resident and more so for the weekend warrior or the second homeowner, where a sticker stays in the condo, the sticker stays in the second home. If they need to go to the dump and they choose a different car, they can take the sticker, put it in that car. If they want to go to Ladies Bath, they take the sticker, they take it to Ladies Bath. I think that was our thought process at the time. I don't think we should do a whole new placard. I agree with that. I don't think that's the route we want to go down. And to be honest, what I heard they do in Lincoln is they just make sure they're a property owner. And they just get it.
I mean, Woodstock.
And Woodstock, excuse me, yeah. I don't think there's any traffic. Whereas we're tracking.
So, I can see, a person might want to get a sticker and put it on a pocket and leave it at their counter of their home. So if they've got renters coming up, they can get to the company place. If they've got kids coming up, they want to go to the Ladies Bath, they can use it. That's still only allowing one car at a time to be there.
Yeah.
And, I think that's Cindy's crux. Doesn't-
Well, I also think the request came from the property owner. When we had issued it to the extended family, the request came from the property owner saying, I own this property, I'm unable to pick up the sticker between the hours of 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, and my child can pick it up. Again, it technically, yes, if we issue it to an extended family member. Yes,
But it's the same that we would have,
Give it to the homeowner.
give it to the owner if they were able to come in themselves.
Can I just make a suggestion here as a, like, maybe to amend that? What if we say that those stickers are one per property? Unless you can show that there is a second vehicle registered in the town of Lincoln that we will give a sticker to.
Oh,
Is that-
yeah, or Woodstock.
They gotta control their own. I mean, seriously, we can't.
Yeah, no, we can't tell them.
vote what they have.
And I can see why they can be far more lax things, they have way less second homeowners.
Yeah.
Than we do, so they don't have the problem.
Right. Yeah. And probably different owners.
Yeah, so if someone comes in. And shows that they have a second vehicle
Registered.
registered in Lincoln, then they can get you. I mean, I can see that, like you said, because I take the truck to the dump, but I would typically take that by bringing.
Right,
if you're my
just
next
going
down
to
to
the-
the-
yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, with our solid waste facility now, I mean, it wasn't always like that, but now with John running it, it's awesome, and he knows most of the locals, and OJ drives in on a borrowed truck. He's not gonna
Right.
say, you can't be here.
Right,
Or
right,
if
yeah.
Jack drives
out
in
of
the police car, he's not gonna say anything. I don't have a dumpster on my car because like 9 times out of 10 I make John go, unless I'm cleaning the toilet, then I have to go or he'll keep everything. So, you know, and nothing's ever said, because they know who we are, it's the ones that they don't know who they are, that. They don't want people coming down from other towns or other towns using our facility when it's not.
And we're not gonna be able to make rules that fit every single scenario. You know, like it's just, it's nearly impossible, it's Jason and good, you know,
Right.
But I do think that, you know, I think the system of one per residence, one per property, until another scenario comes up, I think is where we go. With the, if you have a second car that registered
Registered.
in Lincoln, then you can get a second.
Registered that.
That's fine.
I think that would.
Can
that-
you, relay that to Kristen for us?
Yeah,
Is Cindy on the? No.
I don't believe so, I don't think we have nobody in there, but I can respond to Cindy.
That means shut up after 40 minutes.
Well, I'm watching.
Yeah. I'll try to keep my eye. Um.
You were like, it did jump right out at me. Yeah, yeah. Pretty good.
All right. Couple of coordinates, on Wednesday night, the planning board meeting. I believe the first thing on the agenda is a discussion with the company that is gonna be doing our master plan as input session, and the board of selectmen is invited to come. As it was, it's all public.
It's school board, so I can't make it.
You think that's more exciting?
This Wednesday?
This Wednesday, yeah, it is, yeah.
Well, I like kids more, I like adults, so.
Well.
doesn't matter.
All right, we talked last time about the, traffic analysis that North Country Council hired HEB to do for the planning board. Did that analysis get sent out?
I emailed it, I believe so.
Did you? Okay.
Yes. I believe so. I believe I did the next morning.
Okay,
I missed it.
You did.
Huh?
Oh, you did.
Oh, I did, I was
You
gonna say,
did?
I'm pretty sure I did it too.
okay. All right, because I wasn't sure that happened, but just to follow up on that, first. Just read it, there's nothing we need to do right away, but there are two things, and I don't remember if I mentioned this at the last meeting. Number,
Get it?
what, you didn't get it?
Virgin Town Manager, I don't have,
Which email are you looking at?
at BOS, to do the other,
I don't know.
which is probably better. 'cause I didn't.
Well, if you're on channel nine.
Can't access my sent emails, I'll double check, I'm almost positive I did, but I will.
Oh, HEB.
Send,
sorry,
send,
yeah,
you
you did.
send it out on 9/9.
I missed
I
it.
did the traffic, but last night.
You sent it to me and Jack.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, that's why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I did not send it to.
And I didn't need it, I have.
Okay, you have it right, do you want it in electronically?
I just wanted to make sure that they got it,
Yes,
I did.
and then
Look,
two things for the board as they follow up, and again, not necessary, but let's take a look at this as we move forward. Is they upped that speed limit, it used to be 35. They upped it to 40. back until you get by the north again, then it drops
Yeah.
to 35.
just,
We,
just east of, what is that road there?
Dodge Place. We as the board can request a change in the speed limit to DOT. And I would think that with the new common man, which is now
Oh,
open,
the new hotel.
and the new hotel which will be opening after soon. That they're probably, yeah, next year, probably, yeah, yeah, and the continuation of Forest Ridge expanding. That 35 should go back to the crest of the hill, between the crest of the hill and Forest Ridge Drive.
The Lincoln Station Townhouse. is there.
Yeah. Once you get by Lincoln Station Town.
Yeah.
That's the, top.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
or somewhere in that vicinity.
yeah, but
yeah,
Wherever,
I agree.
wherever you can come over the crest of that hill and have enough visibility to see it and slow down. So that's just a,
Typically, if the speed limit's 40, people are doing 45.
yeah, but if it's 35,
Then they'll.
maybe it'll be
Yeah.
40, 42.
I agree, because they fly.
right,
I know.
Yeah.
Um. I don't know if we need to vote on that, I assume we would,
Yeah, I think I
and
think if you make a motion to do so, I can draft a letter to DOT and then I'll send it to you out for review and if everything looks good, I'll ship it off.
the other part of that is if we wanted one of those radar signs like Woodstock has going into Woodstock on Route 3 heading south. That blinks what
just be,
your speed is, they would assist us with doing that, but we would pay.
Yeah, we have to pay for it.
Yeah, we need their permission to do it, but we'd have to pay for it.
Um. I think that would be a good idea. People
I do
come,
too.
across the cank, or they, they're coming out of Loon and. Let's get on the highway and get home.
I've noticed it several times that I'll slow down, because I know it turns to 30. That is the tree path blocks it till you get on top of it. One of Nordic's trees, so it's.
It always gives you a check. It makes you look
That
down.
one, yeah, that Plymouth one on the Tenny Mountain Highway,
Yeah, no, that helps.
that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because again, you're getting
You're
on the
getting
interstate,
into the-
you're getting into a more, get off that
Yeah.
exit, still going 55, and all of a sudden there's a red light there. That, I just think that, I always slow down at that light. And I did see one, and I know it costs extra to do this, but underneath where it says what the speed limit is, yeah, there's a little sign that says, going too fast, it says naughty. And then if it's in red, and then if you're under the speed limit, it just says, nice.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't think we need that, but it's
No.
kind of fun.
Plymouth also has one too, if you're going up to the elementary and the high school, they have one that you can program it, so they change it every once in a while, like. Like,
Good job,
or like, so it's not just not.
Or maybe it's, yeah, program that day that I got.
There's one of the cake that has a giant camera on top of it. Better slow down.
I can quote, I'll have to make a quote for the speed blinking sign, so at least we know how much it's gonna cost us.
Do you want a motion? I'll make a motion that we have Karina request the state to put a. The reduced speed limit sign. At. Near Dodge Place, there where it comes down. And that we request to reduce the speed limit. To 35 from Dodge Place to wherever the. Lincoln Station townhouses are, the crest of that hill.
Let's say the crest of the hill east of Forest Ridge Drive.
Perfect.
And that's just, it's somewhere in that,
Yeah,
You can,
know,
Yeah. because then that's before you're gonna head down into Pollock Brook.
correct.
So, that's what people do, start slowing down because they're going into Pollock Brook anyways, because the pitch there. So, yeah, I think the rest of it will.
In a second.
alright, so that's a motion,
A second.
all those in favor?
Perfect.
I'm
Thank you.
suggesting we wait to send that letter. Until we find out what the price is. Just because if we want to
add the.
do that, let's do one, let's say we wanna lower it, and we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have Nate get on the getting a quote for the blinking sign and. I'll
Okay.
get back into the next meeting.
alright. We got a 91A by certified letter, I got copied on that. Have we been able to fulfill that, or we started to, or?
We provided them all the information.
They got-
They sent up an associate in the attorney's office to review all the hard copy stuff. They received everything else
Okay.
USB, so it's all taken care of.
I just,
It was for, the,
Property.
El Greco property.
Oh,
that was just on my desk that, because I was received a
Yeah.
delivered,
Yep, no, that's taken care of.
so, all right. Um. The fire station. What is the status of the upgrades there? Is that final vent?
The final vent system is on order, we're just waiting
Oh, it's
for
on
it,
order.
we're waiting for delivery, we've had the electrician, we had to hire an electrician to come in. To do some preliminary work to get the system ready to be installed, that's already been completed, so now we're just waiting to get them here and get it installed.
And then. For the future plans of the fire station. My suggestion was to have an engineer look at the structure and look at the feasibility of adding onto that structure. On this side, the side towards us here.
Okay.
I didn't know if there was any engineering. Funds available, at least to have an initial. Seems to look at that, or if that's something we should budget for, or the fire department should budget for, this season.
put in engineering, CIP.
We have funds in the engineering, the CIP, line item for engineering, I think if I'm not mistaken, we have around. Like 7,000 in there, so I think we would have, 70 something, 70 and change, so. If that's something the board wants to do, I think we would have at least enough funds to kind of start that project.
Because, look, if I'm wrong, initially we were gonna repave that parking lot and do something ahead of, I think chief had an idea to do something.
I don't remember, I mean, that kind of sounds vaguely familiar, I think we were debating on. What was gonna happen with the library, because the library is eager to expand as well, yet they don't have room to expand very much, so, I think that was a conversation we had during CIP, I don't remember the specifics, but, yeah, I think the concern is that if we do expand this way, that we would lose that parking area,
Right.
and then where would they park?
Especially in the winter, because we use the.
We use the
parking lot
municipal
to store
parking lot.
snowstorms.
I think that was the original, or one of the.
My thought on that is to make Cross Street a dead end. Only accessible from Maple. And dead end it where the library is. And then from there.
You mean
From
where
the
the
dead,
police station is? Dead end in the police station?
no, dead end Cross Street, and
Yeah.
then from Maple. Dead ended where the road, the driveway goes up behind
Okay,
behind the fire station to the library.
Yep.
That's the end of Cross Street. From that end of Cross Street out to Church Street. Becomes. Parking. And the parking right now that's up against the fire building. Gets moved back however many feet is necessary to put in the addition there. So you still have the same parking, it's just further back, what you're losing is the roadway. So then you put one entrance
you still have
exit
2 houses,
into, you would have to feed those houses.
you'd have to feed.
But there'd be one driveway, be one, whatever, entranceway that comes into the parking. And you can park,
You actually would only have to feed that one house, if you did it. Right there, which would give you the entrance behind the fire station. And these 2 houses would come in this way, and end it. You don't have to feed this one building, which is 2 apartments,
Let's start with the owner of the house too. If that's something that. we
and that would give
decide to
them
go
this
forward.
whole, well, you just couldn't block that house.
you'd have to make. That house accessible, you have to do the dead end past their driveway.
Right,
So then it would be here. Because the driveway's on this side of the house.
you gotta leave places to pile snow. Because it's gonna dead
In
end.
that parking lot.
Decide what it's gonna be.
Right, But we might end up being, having to. Scoop. That's a
Bucket.
bucket load, that snow out of there. Now, it doesn't have to be every, every storm, but it can't pile up for a whole winter either.
Right. Let's look into. Maybe Nate, do some research there.
Sure. Like I said, I think we have the funds, if, you know.
Yep.
If we were, I don't know. I'd probably reach out to someone local first,
But
like Stuart Anderson or
Stuart, yeah.
something, yeah, have him take a look at it and see if he thinks it's
Sure.
feasible, you know, get some ideas from, you know, 'cause he might have, better idea than I do,
Sure.
you know. Do that. Great.
Alright, and then for non-public, I. People maybe talk to. I've got a response from Jason about, the Chenard property. About. Like our next, looking at it, where the two attorneys gonna go. View this property.
I believe.
We should.
Again, that's what I wanna know, but
I don't think there was a much more update since the last time we spoke, but. Yeah.
alright, and. My last thing was, how was the, sign enforcement?
Well, we,
Sounds like it's going good.
we have about, 30 signs, in town hall right now. Most of them are those little tiny wire, wire leg signs. He calls them big signs.
The one that I was suggesting, we put water ban on.
Yeah, so we have about 30 of them in-house. We have notified the property owners or the business owners that we do have them and that they're here to come pick them up. We have been going around with the sign ordinance. We've been taking pictures of the ones to document timelines because a lot of them, you gotta give them 30 days, and even though we know they've been there longer than 30 days, we have to put a start clock and an
Right.
end clock on things. So we're
Okay.
we're gaining, yeah.
And what about, notice to the Chamber of Commerce? Again, not every business is a member, but just if they post notice, they do it in weekly newsletter.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that, but I
If we
didn't
could just let them know that we are
sign enforcement.
trying to enforce the sign ordinance, and if you know you have a sign that's not permitted. Come see us and don't wait for us to come, for us to come see them.
Don't make Sean come see you.
John's seeing a lot of people, he's making a lot of friends.
Warren, I mean,
We've got, copies of the sign ordinance on hand, so.
it's got it memorized. I had a question for Sean. Sean, did you get my question answered about the signs on private roads? Do we have a right to pull?
I have not yet, no.
Okay. Because that's something, if it's on a private road, does the town have jurisdiction over that sign on that road?
I would say yes, if it's visible from a public way, it's right, I mean,
Well, it's a private way because it's not town owned.
yeah, but
It's not publicly owned.
Right.
It's a public.
but it's
can
viewed
you
from the
go-
public.
I can, because I live on the road.
Well, I can drive on your road.
I might not let you.
It's not a town road, but it's a public way, right?
That's how I would interpret it, that, if it's, can be viewed by the public,
Agreed.
then I would say then we can enforce it. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of private roads in towns, and there are a lot of people who don't own that private road that drive on those roads.
Right.
Right.
It's not, we don't have very few gated kind of areas.
No, when you've got like South Peak that's gated,
Only on one end.
Huh?
It's only gated on one end.
yeah, but it's gated and, like Forest Ridge is all private. If
not
somebody
gated.
puts a sign,
It's
Right,
not gated.
But if
it's
someone,
HOA.
if someone put a billboard up in front of the condos or their private house up at Forest Ridge.
The town has
I
jurisdiction
believe
to
we have
have
jurisdiction is it, if it's
I'd just
visible,
like us to be sure,
yeah, maybe we should check that out. then.
you know, when Sean gets a chance or Karina gets a chance.
It's fair time.
Well, you know, there is one, I just happen to be going by your street and it's a Milux sign, it's residential, there's no signs in residential, but it's advertising Airbnb, et cetera, et cetera. It's hanging on a post in a guy's driveway, so I won't go in and take it off the private property. I do have plans to get in touch with the gentleman and say, there are no signs allowed in residential section, et cetera, but that's kind of where I'm going
Yeah,
next.
and I guess that's a good point that you just bring up, that most of our sign regulates them in residential areas, right? So most of the private roads are residential.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I think that would be more of a zoning than it would be private way thing.
But I'm trying to get through this broad one first, say, okay. Let the heat settle down, let me get going on something else and kind of want for this, do that, you know?
Well, you can't do everything at once, and I agree, focusing on the,
I mean, you look around, it's pretty clean now.
It is, but I agree.
It's-
yeah.
People have got pretty good.
Street, all those small
yeah, those little signs,
signs, little signs are gone.
bring it up.
We're trying. One thing also before I forgot that was asked at the last meeting, and I'm just following up on, I imagine it will be brought up at Wednesday's planning board meeting, is the dropping of packets off at the PD. I did speak with Chief Morris, and while he is not in love with the idea by any means, he said that he wouldn't stop me or us from bringing a few packets over there to
For
be,
those that requested,
yeah. So,
I'm not requesting final.
yeah, so I think, I will say this, I'll add to that. I finished the packets, I did the packets this week, and although they were relatively much smaller than they normally are, I finished them on Thursday afternoon, sent out an email to the planning board. And I still have about half of them in the office,
and has anyone requested them be brought to the PD?
the chairman of the planning board,
Just.
yes.
They put it in a cell so that maybe the door closes behind them, not behind it.
Right, I would.
So if it's brought up on Wednesday night's meeting, I did say, and like I said, although it's not ideal, he would be amenable to the idea of bringing a few packets over there.
Or just the one.
Yeah, I guess my concern is that if I bring just, you know, how do you bring just one?
Because if there's only
How do
one
you-
that
you know,
requested,
do I bring three, do I bring?
if there's only one planning board member or ZBA member that's requested the packet be brought to the PD, then that's the one you bring. The rest of them.
I did ask, at I did ask at the planning board meeting, who would pick up their packet over the weekend at the PD, and more than just one
So, yes,
said yes.
And if they requested be brought over there, then bring it up. But if they didn't, then don't. Because you know what, if you bring them all over there, then Monday you're gonna bring them all
That's
back.
what I said in the planning board meeting, I said that, I said, I don't
And if-
want, and he said, if they don't pick up their packet at the PD, then they won't be sat for the meeting.
Good, I was gonna say.
Which,
don't make it so-
which I don't necessarily hate that idea, it, you know, but again, the planning board packets tend to be this thick.
Right.
And bringing, you know, 8 copies over.
But I can understand if someone works out of town and Monday to Friday and they can't get here between 8 and 4, fine, drop it off. But if you live and work in town, you should be able to stop by town hall at some point on Friday and pick it up.
Spending much ado about nothing here. You know,
Yeah.
either people say yes or they say no, and if they don't want it, you're not the errand girl for those that do. If they don't pick it up, shame on them, period.
Right, and don't bring it, they don't pick it up, don't bring it back.
Don't bring it back.
Alright, I just wanted to, so, cause I know it's gonna be asked.
Brian Van Dam, no, I understand it. I'm glad you pursued that, I think it's worth giving it a try. You know, I mean, historically, those have not been ready until 6 o'clock at night on a Friday.
Agreed, and I,
So that
agree.
might change, which might make this whole thing move on.
I'm hoping so. I am hoping so. I am hoping that, this is a temporary solution to a temporary problem.
Perfect.
Thank you for that update.
No worries.
Did you have anything?
Two things.
Yep.
One is Kristen sent us an email that I just,
Oh, yeah.
I want to, I'm gonna paraphrase.
Yes.
Because it's long and detailed and I don't want to mention anybody's names. However, there was somebody that wanted to inter a loved one at Riverside Cemetery and had a great, exchange with town staff and especially with Nate and Tyler and Ron over at the Works Department. And just wanted to shout out kudos to
And Kristen.
and Kristen. And Kristen went above and beyond with the whole phone tag thing. And it's a really difficult time for people doing that, and thanks to the town staff for making things that a little easier for somebody. Agreed. So shout out to Nate and, yeah. Everyone here at town hall that helped, that was a good thing. The other thing I had was the cat, we met with Stuart, do you want to?
Sure, so,
Yeah.
yeah, so we met with Stuart Anderson, Tammy, Bree, and Nate.
Cheryl? Cheryl?
No.
No, I guess it was just Nate,
Was just me.
okay.
Abby came to review the kind of updated plans that he has for the tank renovations. We had a really, I think, excellent meeting, super productive. It was really helpful having Nate there, because he understands kind of the lay of the land.
And
a little
answered a lot of questions.
Answered a lot of questions as far as underground utilities, water, sewer, what we can connect to. We're probably gonna have to, obviously, we accounted for this during budget season, but we're probably gonna have to make some electrical upgrades. We knew that going into it, where can we move the propane tanks, you know, where is it appropriate, whatnot. So I think we had a really
Productive, a great meeting, yeah.
productive meeting. Next steps will we'll take you back kind of questions and comments that we had at the last meeting and revising the plans. And still on schedule to get that project out to bid, in the next few months here, so we can get started, you know, once the can closes next year. So,
Yeah, it was a great meeting.
that ball's rolling.
That's all.
All right. Then I will open up
Well, I'd
for,
like to say I have something. Excuse me. Poor stepchild here. I am the oldest, by the way, you know. I talked to Karina the other day about Invest, New Hampshire 2.0. And there's a new round of funding that came out, and the application is due by October 13th.
Yeah.
Or October 12th.
15th or something, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually talked with Taylor Caswell at an event that I was at last Wednesday, the veterans down in Easter Seals, and the veterans, beautiful 15-acre campus down in Franklin. They had 1,000 people, but anyways, they get a chance to speak to him. And he said, you know, this project over on Route 3, this be something that is $7 million. It's new money. It's not the old Invest 2.0. And it's for affordable workforce housing. That's the target here. So it's something that, you know, when you're dealing with people that might be interested in that, let them know about that, because the application, I have a copy of the application, everything on my phone, I can send it to you.
Yeah, I looked at it too. Originally, the Invest New Hampshire program, that grant program was really geared toward giving communities funding to improve their own rules and regulations. This round of funding seems to be.
Hard cost.
It seems that hard costs are allowable, because I did look into it after Jeff sent it to me. So I'll send it out if you want me to, or Jeff send it out. It might be something that we want to consider, especially, you know, talking, I mean, it's a very quick turnaround. You'd have to get
Right.
something,
does the whole application need to be done or just advice?
Yeah, everything has to be.
everything has to be submitted by October.
Yeah, it could be
Um,
done.
I can look at the application and see how detailed it is. The last one, the last one, if I remember correctly, wasn't a huge undertaking, but now that hard costs are gonna be allowable, it might be a little bit different. I don't know. Let me look at the application.
See if it's possible.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. 7 million will take,
Yeah, I mean,
I know we can get all of it, but still.
their max, I read through the project guidelines or the grant guidelines, and the max awards and
Take it.
It was just related to the bridge, water and sewer across the river.
I have a feeling this is tied into the 5 million that was funded in the state budget, so I think it's gonna be really hard to obtain if you don't already have a kind of vested project in the works, but I'll look into it more.
Okay.
I bet you there's few towns that own developable parcels. That just needs water sewer bridge to.
Yeah.
Have a, you know,
To get the project kicked off,
developer
yeah.
come in and take over the rest.
Just sent it to,
Thank you. Anything else, sir?
no, and that's it. Glad you called me, sir.
All right, I will open up for public participation. If there's anything. Wayne?
I really know.
All
There's
right.
a lot of good information tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Very consistent. Miles?
Hi, Miles Moran. I was here about a year and a half ago, and we discussed the opening of the pedestrian path that has been forested in from the end of Luann Lane down to Main Street. And Nate Hadway said, you know, it was something that the public works guys could do, it wasn't gonna require any money, and at some point you could get it paved too, and I'm just curious as to what's going on with that. Nothing happened. I haven't asked Nate anything about it. I just figured I'd stop in here and ask.
It's not as simple as we originally anticipated. Where our easement lies is directly dead center where all those extremely mature trees are. So all of that landscaping would have to come down. We reached out to the property owners on either side to see if they would be agreeable to relocating the easement. So we wouldn't have to necessarily clear cut that whole landscape boundary between the two properties. And neither of them were interested in doing so. So I think we kind of let it lie for the time being. Didn't want to pull the trigger on, I guess, cutting all that mature growth down at this time, knowing that either property owner was most likely going to be negatively affected by it.
Well, I understand that, and I wouldn't expect that either one of those property owners would be responsive to do that. I understand that. However, I've lived here for 45 years. I remember when that was not drivable, but it was broad daylight, passable. People used it all the time to go through there. And when you say it got forested, it got planted by a homeowner. A lot of it got planted. It didn't just grow there naturally. It got put there.
Oh, no, it's decorative landscaping.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So and it's not a right of way. I'm almost 100% sure. This is town-owned property.
It's an easement. We have an easement that crosses over the land.
From the end of Luann Lane out to,
Yeah, I almost positive I might even have the other years.
I just know some years ago, I had to do a lot of work up in that area when I had to do a thing with Pat Rompery, zoning up there. And I'm almost positive I have a copy of the deed for Luann Lane. It goes all the way to Main Street. And it's a funnel. But I could be wrong. But like O'Brien Avenue, those are not owned. They are rights of way that go all the way down from the neighborhood. I do. So.
So it's all one parcel.
Luann Lane all the way to Main Street is one parcel from forward.
I do, I have it right here.
Is your arm tired from scooping ice cream yesterday?
Oh, boy, I tell you, they got beat up. It's tough. It was a tough
I couldn't
weekend.
leave the lights there.
I know.
All right, so you are right. We do have at the top of Luann Lane, I have the copy of the survey right here from 1997. We have a deeded track at the top, at the corner of Luann Lane. That comes down straight to the corner of Main Street, where there is an easement at the bottom. I guess I thought the whole thing was easement, but it does appear that. There is, I have to pull up the deed and see what it said, but there is a deed, a book and page reference.
Miles said he's
I,
got a-
I'm pretty sure if, you know, it's funny, I just packed up my house. And I had that file out, and I know that deed is from Martin Brown to the town of Lincoln for Luann Lane.
Yeah, maybe it's easy for us to pull it up.
and, I just, you know, I don't expect there to be a lot of, there's people that live up there that are trying to get through, you know, and, they cut through the fence to come through my property to do it. And I just think it's town property and it should be opened back up the way we discussed it. I didn't expect there to be either neighbor would want it, why would they? But, you know, I don't think it's really up to them. And I certainly don't want to go the hard way and get 25 people on a signature for a petition to go that way. Cause I think I could do that, get the signatures.
It says parcel 2 is subject to the condition that it shall not be used as a public way for the passage of cars, buses, trucks, equipment, or similar vehicles. See registry of deeds book 11277 page 228. So I'll pull it up.
Right.
So that's definitely, oh, okay. He's not wrong.
Well, it's not that. I think you just need to research it, because I do believe I could find that deed if I had to. It's a Martin Brown deed.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
relatively easily.
yeah, exactly.
I think it was just the
Yeah,
knowing that we are going to please one subset of people and anger another.
well.
But-
Yeah, we could-
People who are gonna be upset
Don't, I mean, it's our land.
have an option to say, well, we'll give, you know, do it on this side of those trees so we don't lose that house. Really, it's a protection between.
Yeah, I mean, because at one end, it's I say it's a funnel.
Oh, it
At
is.
one end, it's wide, and then it comes down to, and it only needs to be the 4 or 6 feet, you know, so the guys want to be able to get their snow blower.
No, I mean, if we're gonna pave it, we're gonna have
That's
to get
what I mean.
ADA, so
And-
it's not gonna be 4 feet, it's gonna be
Well,
ADA.
no, well,
Very much
oh,
Cause it's not cars, it's only pedestrian traffic. We don't have to do 8 feet for pedestrian traffic to be ADA. If we did, all none of our sidewalks would be.
it'd be like the path that goes down O'Brien Avenue,
Yeah.
it's paved, it's only about maybe 4 or 5 feet, and then they did put a couple of stanchions up and put yellow leaves on them,
Yeah.
so that people could see, no, you're not supposed to drive a vehicle. And actually, way back when, there were trees there in the Luann Lane, you couldn't get a vehicle down there, you could run a bicycle through there, you run a motorcycle through, did that a lot. Dirt bike, oh yeah. When I had an illegal dirt bike, I owned the deli here, and I'd run up there at night with no lights on, cut through the woods.
Snowmobiles would fit through too.
Snowmobile back in the day would go through there.
Used to be able to snowmobile in town.
But if you could just try and look at that again, please.
Thank you,
We'll do
Miles.
that.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Looking at ADA requirement of sidewalks.
I'm glad you can remind us.
Absolutely.
That'd be an asset. for the town.
I totally
Everybody
agree.
who lives up on Pollock Road, when it rained, and the
Yeah.
Newport Bridge people.
I-
People walk and cut through Main Street there.
I totally agree. Did you have anything for us, Sean?
No,
Anything else then? I'll make a motion to go into non-public just to get an update on, the,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, good night, guys.
Good night.
Thank you, Don.
Beautiful beauty.
Didn't pick out at all.
Yeah.
I think nobody came on,
Oh, okay, all right.
So no one dropped off.
so nobody dropped off, so the inactivity clock didn't stop.
Okay, now I understand, all right, thank you.
Karina, we need to send a response to the board.